Hey guys, I'm sorry that this video is coming out late, but I'm very excited. You've seen my reaction to the Eels side of the draw. Now it's time to see the whole draw. This is my draw reaction. My box break is in just 15 minutes. I'm super pumped to do that. And then my season preview will be out tomorrow. Stick around guys. It's time for me to find out the draw. So I already know rounds 3 and 4, so I'll disinclude that. Manly and the Broncos at Central Coast Stadium. Warriors and Cowboys at Central Coast Stadium. Oh man. Parramatta and Panthers, I knew that. Rabbitohs face the Titans. The Knights and the Storm. Tigers and Raiders. Bulldogs, Roosters. Dragons, Sharks. That tips off round 5. Round 6. Knights at Central Coast Stadium against the Broncos. Rabbitohs and the Warriors at Bankwest. Penrith and the Storm, that should be a good game. Down in Campbelltown. The Titans at Suncorp against the Dragons. The Tigers against the Cowboys at Campbelltown. Roosters and Eels at Bankwest. That's very quick, that one. That's not too far away. Raiders and Manly at Campbelltown. That's always a good game. The Sharks and the Doggy at Bankwest. Round 7. Penrith and the Rabbitohs at Campbelltown. Storm versus Warriors at Amy Park. I'm going to start not saying stadiums. I'll get through it more. Roosters and Dragons. Cowboys and Knights. Broncos and Titans. That'll be a good game, hopefully. Parramatta and the Raiders at Bankwest. That'll be a fantastic game on Saturday afternoon, that one, on the 27th of June. Manly and the Sharks at Central Coast Stadium. Well, if crowds are in, Manly will win. Bulldogs and the Tigers. Storm and the Roosters, that'll be good down at Amy Park. Raiders and the Dragons. Eels and the Cowboys at Bankwest. Titans and the Sharks at Suncorp. Warriors and the Broncos, which was a draw last year at Central Coast Stadium, that one. Tigers and Panthers at Campbelltown. Manly and Newcastle at Central Coast Stadium. And the Bulldogs and the Rabbits at Bankwest. We're almost at the halfway mark. We're now up to round 9. Cowboys and the Roosters, which was meant to be our magic round game that I was going to. Titans and the Warriors. Rabbits and the Tigers. Sharks and the Panthers. Broncos and the Doggies. Raiders and the Storm. That'll be an absolute brilliant clash at Campbelltown on the 11th of July. Knights and the Eels at Central Coast Stadium. Dragons and Manly at Campbelltown. That game is a Sunday night. Grand final rematch, which will be, to be advised, so no stadiums for these games. Roosters and Raiders, Storm and Titans, Broncos and the Tigers, Dragons and the Doggies, Rabbitohs and Knights. That'll be a good game. That was meant to be another magic round clash. Manly and the Eel, we face them in round 5, but we face them again in round 10. Warriors and the Sharks, Penrith and the Cowboys. That ends the first half of the season. So we're kicking off the second half of the season with the Tigers and the Eels. Then we've got the Cowboys and Manly, Brisbane and the Storm. I reckon that'll be a good close game, that one. Brisbane look good this year. Warriors and the Roosters, Sharks and the Dragons, the Raiders and the Rabbits. That'll be a great clash. Knights and the Doggies. Doggies for the upset. Dragons and the Rabbits. Tigers and the Warriors. Broncos and the Sharks. Roosters and the Titans. Cowboys and the Raiders, that's always a decent game. Manly and Penrith. Parramatta and the Doggies. So we've got the Doggies again. Storm and the Knights. Hopefully it's a good game because I think I'm expecting a bit from the Knights this year. Dragons and the Roosters, our Anzac Day clash on a Thursday night. Manly and the Warriors. Broncos and the Rabbitohs. Storm and the Doggies. Knights and the Tigers. Penrith and the Raiders. Titans and the Cowboys. Another good Queensland derby, that one. Sharks and the Eels to finish off that round. Roosters and the Storm. That'll be good. Warriors and Penrith. Eels and the Dragons. Sharks and the Titans. Now, that is always a good game. I'm looking forward to that game, not going to lie. Cowboys and Rabbits. Raiders and the Broncos. I think that could be a good game as well. Tigers and the Dogs. Knights and Manly. Round 15. Parramatta. Go you good things against the Melbourne Storm. Can we get revenge? We'll have to wait and see. Penrith and the Sharks, Broncos and the Dragons, Titans and the Raiders, Tigers and the Roosters, Rabbitohs and Manly. That's not a bad game, that. Let's keep your eye on that one. Just put a circle around the calendar. Bulldogs and the Warriors. Knights and the Cowboys. Moving on to round 16. Parramatta and the Rabbits. Dragons and the Titans. Roosters and the Broncos. That's always a good game. Keep your eye on that one. Warriors and Knights. Sharks and the Cowboys. Sharks and Cowboys. Good game as well. Penrith and the Tigers. Manly and the Storm. Cracking match. Always golden point last year. Always good one. Raiders and the Doggy. Round 17. We're in September. Normal finals, but not this year. Broncos and the Panthers. Knights and the Sharks. Rabbitohs and the Storm, which I went to Central Coast Stadium last year. It was a good game. Bulldogs and the Titans. Manly and the Tigers. Raiders and the Rabbits. Another grand final rematch. We're getting a glorious matchup there. Warriors and the Eels, which would have been the magic round game. Cowboys and the Dragons. Round 18. Tigers and the Rabbits. Bulldogs and Manly. Penrith and the Eels. Dragons and the Raiders. That's not a bad game. Dragons and Raiders always have a good game. Titans and the Broncos. Roosters and the Knights. Storm and the Cowboys. Sharks and the Warriors. Final 2 rounds. Let's pump it out. Get excited because the season's back in just 5 days. Rabbitohs and the Doggies. Cowboys and the Panthers. Eels and the Broncos. Manly and the Titans. Storm and the Tigers. Roosters and the Sharks. Raiders and the Warriors. Knights and the Dragons. And our final round, which I've had a little look at and I'm looking forward to, you've got the Broncos and the Cowboys, the Titans and the Knights, the foundation of rugby league, the Rabbitohs versus the Roosters, Bulldogs and the Panthers, Sharks and the Raiders, Tigers and the Eels, Warriors and Manly, and the Dragons and the Storm. That is the full NRL draw revealed. That was my first time besides the final round and the Eels game looking at it. I think there's some mouth-watering clashes there. I will put my full season preview involving games I'm excited for. Smash the like button. Jump on the live at 5:30. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow.